If you grew up in the 1950s, a snowstorm wasn't just weather. It was an event, an adventure. When the forecast called for heavy snow, everything changed. For you, as a child, a snowstorm meant one glorious possibility. No school, freedom, a day that belonged entirely to winter. It began slowly, a feeling in the air, a shift in the light. The signs would appear days before. The sky changing, turning a heavy, expectant gray. You remember your father stepping outside, checking the thermometer on the porch, and coming back in, stamping his feet. "Big storm coming," he'd announce. The words held a certain weight, a mix of caution and excitement. Then, the radio would confirm it, those calm, authoritative voices crackling through the static. Weather warnings are in effect. 8 to 12 inches expected overnight. Your mother would start making lists. A trip to the store was essential. Stocking up on the essentials: milk, bread, extra batteries for the flashlights, candles, just in case the power went out. It was a ritual of preparation, a battening down of the hatches against the coming storm. At school, the excitement was a current running through the hallways. Whispers passed from desk to desk. "They're saying to feet. My dad said the whole state is shutting down." Hope was rising with every rumor. Your teachers tried their best to maintain focus, to get through the day's lessons, but you could tell they were distracted too. Everyone was watching the windows, watching the sky, waiting. Then, it would start. Just a few small, hesitant flakes at first, dancing in the air. But within an hour, the world outside your classroom window would begin to blur. The snow would thicken, falling fast and heavy. It settled on everything, blanketing the ground, the trees, the parked cars. The world was turning white, silent. You'd press your face against the cool glass of the window at home, mesmerized. The snow just kept coming, accumulating with impossible speed. The wind would begin to pick up, a low howl that made the house feel even cozier. It sculpted the snow into drifts, piling it high against the walls, against the cars until they became soft, white mounds, their shapes almost unrecognizable. And then, the moment you'd been waiting for. The radio announcer's voice, cutting through the music. "We have the following school closings. You'd hold your breath, listening as he read the list. And when he said the name of your school district, pure joy would erupt. A snow day. It was real. It was official. Outside, the storm would rage on, a beautiful, dangerous, powerful force of nature. The wind howled, and the snow swirled in a dizzying dance. But you were safe inside, warm and filled with the exhilarating promise of a day with no rules, no bells, no homework. The next morning, you'd wake up on your own, no jarring alarm clock. The first thing you'd do is run to the window. Everything was white, deep, untouched, perfect snow, sparkling under a pale winter sun. But you couldn't go out just yet. Breakfast first. Your mother would be in the kitchen, the one truly warm room in the house. The smell of hot oatmeal and coffee would fill the air. Everyone would gather there, bundled in sweaters and wrapped in blankets. With the furnace working overtime, the rest of the house was cold. You'd spend the morning reading, playing board games like Monopoly or Clue, the pieces spread out on the living room rug. You were all stuck inside together, and it felt like being on a ship in the middle of a vast, white ocean. Your father might venture out, armed with a shovel, to clear a path to the front door or check on the car. He'd come back in a few minutes later, covered in snow, his breath pluming in the cold air. "It's deep out there," he'd say, shaking his head with a smile. "Really deep." Do you remember snowstorms in the 1950s? Waking up to that incredible feeling of finding out school was canceled. Share your favorite snowstorm memories in the comments below. We'd love to read them. Finally, the words you'd been waiting for. Your mother would look out the window, size up the weather, and give the final permission. "All right, you can go out, but bundle up." And you would. Oh, you would. Layers upon layers. Long underwear, wool socks, your stiffest jeans, then the boots, the heavy winter coat, the scarf wrapped tight around your neck, the hat pulled down over your ears, and finally, the mittens, clipped to your coat sleeves so you wouldn't lose them. You'd feel like a little astronaut, so padded with clothes you could barely bend your arms. Stepping outside was like stepping into another world. It was magical. The snow was deep, maybe up to your knees, and the world was muffled and still. You'd take that first glorious step, sinking into the perfect, powdery blanket. Then, the playing would begin. You'd roll down snowballs, bigger and bigger, until they were too heavy to push, creating the base for a snowman. Coal from the cellar for eyes, a carrot from the kitchen for a nose, and one of your dad's old hats to top it off. If you had a hill nearby, sledding was the main event. You drag your wooden sled to the top, position yourself, and then fly down the slope, a blur of speed and exhilaration. The cold air would burn your face and make your eyes water. You'd crash at the bottom in a heap of snow, laughing, then climb all the way back up to do it again and again. And of course, there were the snowball fights. You'd build forts out of packed snow, creating walls and defenses. These were epic wars that could last for hours, ending only when your hands were too frozen to pack another snowball. Eventually, you'd have to go back inside. You'd be soaked, freezing, your teeth chattering. Snow would be packed into every cuff and collar. You'd stomp your boots on the porch, trying to knock off the ice, but you'd still leave a trail of melting puddles through the house. Your mother would be waiting by the door. "Take those wet clothes off right now," she'd scold gently. You'd peel off every soggy layer, hanging it all near the radiator or the fireplace to dry. The whole house would fill with the distinct, earthy smell of wet wool. You'd change into warm, dry pajamas. And then came the ultimate reward, hot chocolate. Not from a packet, but made on the stove with real cocoa powder and milk, stirred until it was perfectly smooth. You'd watch as miniature marshmallows were dropped in, floating on the dark, rich surface. That first sip was heavenly. The warmth would spread through you, chasing away the last of the chill. You'd sit by the fire, wrapped in a blanket, feeling tired and happy and completely content. You had lived through the storm. You had created memories that would last a lifetime. If this brought back memories of snow days, of coming inside frozen but happy, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're here to remember the winners that made childhood magical, because yesterday never truly disappeared. It just fell as snow, reminding us that some of life's best days were the ones where everything stopped and we just got to play.